Donnie Devine. Remember that name? He was the king of comedy, a titan of the stand-up world. His specials sold out arenas. His roasts were legendary, and his tongue was sharper than a surgeon's scalpel. Donnie could dismantle anyone with a single sentence, and the crowd would roar. He was on top of the world, bathed in the spotlight, convinced he was a god among mortals. The problem with being on top of the world is that there's a long way to fall. For Donnie, the fall wasn't gradual. It was immediate. A screech of tires on a rain-slicked highway, a flash of twisted metal, and then silence, followed by a suffocating heat and the smell of sulfur. He woke up, not in a hospital, but on a stage. It looked familiar. A single microphone, a stool, a brick wall behind him. But the spotlight wasn't a warm, welcoming glow. It was a harsh, accusatory glare. And the crowd. Oh, the crowd. They weren't fans. Their faces were a sea of anguish and resentment. Sunken eyes, gaunt cheeks, and mouths twisted not in laughter, but in permanent scowls. There was no applause, just a low, guttural murmur of disdain. A voice ancient and devoid of all warmth echoed in his mind. Make them laugh. This was it. This was his eternity. Hell wasn't fire and brimstone. It was a never-ending open mic night. Donnie, ever the professional, grabbed the mic. Old habits die hard. So, I just died and came to hell. Talk about a tough crowd. What's the deal with the commute? The traffic was murder. He waited for the laugh, and it never came. Just silence, punctuated by a lone, drawn-out boo that seemed to physically push him back. He tried another one. Is it hot in here, or is it just my eternal damnation? Nothing. Just hundreds of pairs of eyes, burning with a cold hatred that extinguished the very idea of humor. Night after night, the cycle repeated. He would take the stage. The infernal spotlight would pin him down, and he'd launch into his best material. He tried his classic roasts, his sharp observational humor, his self-deprecating bits. Every joke, every punchline, every carefully crafted bit that had once earned him millions, now just hung in the thick, stagnant air before crashing to the floor in a chorus of heckles and groans. "You're not funny," one soul would shriek. "We've heard it all before." Another would moan. This was a special kind of torment, designed just for him. On Earth, laughter was his power, his currency. He'd used it to elevate himself by pushing others down. He never cared about the people he insulted, the feelings he trampled on. They were just setups for his punchlines. Now, he was the punchline. His entire existence was a joke with no laughter. The audience he had spent his life demeaning was now his eternal jury, and their verdict was always the same: guilty. He was forced to confront the faces of his victims, not literally, but in the collective misery of his audience. Every hateful stare reminded him of a person he'd belittled. Every grown a career he'd mocked. Stripped of his audience's adoration, Donnie Devine was nothing, just a man on a stage, telling jokes to a crowd that would never, ever laugh. For the first time, in a place devoid of all hope, he felt a pang of regret. He finally understood the greatest joke of all had been on him, and it would last for an eternity. Thanks for watching. It's a dark story, but it makes you think, doesn't it? If you enjoy these kinds of narrative explorations, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel. It really helps us create more content like this for you. See you all in the next video.